What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be working on the 67. We're finally going to be hopefully making some progress and some headway on getting our engine finished up and hopefully getting one step closer towards getting that thing running. Before we get started with today's video, you know I gotta plug our giveaway. Get entered in to win this 2020 wide body Hellcat Challenger. It is a stick shift 6-speed car with Vossen wheels, just got lowered, F8 green, extremely beautiful car. I just absolutely love this thing. But anyways, if you want to grab your entries to win this thing, getting entered in to win this car is like actually super simple. You just go to itsjustasix.com. Every dollar that you spend is going to get you automatically entered in to win. You don't have to do anything at all. You literally just check out, your entries are automatically counted, and there you go. Enough about the Challenger. Over to the Camaro. As you guys see, our Coyote engine is in the car. Today we're going to be working on wrapping up the rest of the stuff to finish this thing up. Mainly finishing up timing cover, getting it all sealed up, getting our valve covers put on properly and finished up, and then also an intake manifold, throttle body, just getting everything bolted down like it's supposed to. Right now everything is just loosely mounted on and not really even tightened down. I've got to replace a few things and also tighten down a lot of stuff. So let's go ahead and get jumped into today's video. Alrighty guys, we're working on the freaking 67 with Poe.
Hola, how are you doing?
Today we're going to be pulling out the transmission, getting our new clutch installed, which by the way, we just got it all laid out. I want to give a huge thanks to Lethal Performance. Got a beautiful clutch disc in here. Also got a McLeod throwout bearing, so that way we don't have to use the OEM one. Got our flywheel bolts and our pressure plate and flywheel, which we've already made it for testing. We had to put some pins in, so we wanted to make sure that it was sitting right. Everything's sitting perfect now. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. We got the car up in the air. We gotta get this trans pulled out real quick. We've got our new trans fluid that we're gonna be installing into the transmission today. I say installing. Filling into the trans. And then also, since I've got the car up in the air, I figured we would go ahead and take our shocks that we got in and take out these old ones and get our new ones put in since we finally got them. And yeah, so hopefully by the end of today, we will have a freaking complete hydraulic converted clutch in this car, hopefully by the end of today.
Hey, that'd be sick.
That would be sick.
That'd be extremely sick.
That would be extremely sick. And we'll have a trans back in, which means that we would be one step closer to having this thing done. All right, let's go. Okay, first order of business, we've got to remove the entire exhaust off of this car. So before I cut the hangers back here, i.e. zip ties, we do need to take these clamps off up front. I do love the fact that this is just all V-banded.
This is great. V-bands are the best thing ever.
Back here, snip our zip tie, and boom, just like that, one of our custom Corsa catbacks is taken off. Cut zip tie back here and pull that down, and then you keep walking out. I walk it out, I walk it out. There you go. Boom. Yes, sir. 2 Corsa catbacks removed. We can also, while we're under here, go ahead and remove our old shocks that I was showing you guys for demonstration, because we do have our new ones in. And check that out, QA1 adjustable shock. In the bottom, we need to put in our steel sleeve, a little insert. We'll get this orange Hummer. There we go, steel sleeves are inserted. Let me open up this other shock over here. Got our entire shock mount bracket basically completely flipped around from how we had it. And we're gonna see if this works better. It should. Definitely really should. This makes way more sense too. Like it
looks like it lines up a lot better.
Yeah, I want to just tighten it down, but yeah. But then this is still gonna need some kind of spacer. I wonder if that's what these are for.
That's still way too much.
Yeah, I know.
Leverage there. Seriously, if you can get 2 washers right there, that'd be neat.
All right,
2 thick washers, maybe 3 thick washers.
Let me try these like we were talking about a minute ago. We got one shock pretty nicely mounted, at least for temporary testing of liquor. Let's get this one slid up into here. Just just for temporarily mocking everything up. No more zip ties, baby. Let's go. Alrighty, so to pull our transmission, the first thing that I honestly probably should have done is disconnect the whole shifter assembly inside of the car, which I actually could probably still get to. I've got to remove our starter, and then once we get the starter out of the way, pulling our freaking transmission. It looks like we got to get our cross member bolts out back there, and then it should be free to come down. There we go. We'll go ahead and grab our trans jack here, roll it under this. Now I'm going to take out these cross member bolts. Got our transmission cross member bolts out. Yes, sir. Look how tiny. Alrighty, so now what we're gonna do is put our trans jack right about here, and then we're gonna
Hit her with the yeet.
hit her with some pressure. Lift up on her a little bit. Then we're gonna grab our impact. Bust that bitch off. Okay. Cross member can get slid up out of the way somehow. I guess these gotta come out too. I could die in your arms tonight, and nothing will hurt.
That's crazy.
Damn, that's crazy.
I don't know that song.
You don't know that song? What? How do you not know that song, bro? Look it up. You're gonna hear it, be like, oh yeah, but like I don't be listening. And I'm be like, yeah, I know.
All right, what we got? Cutting Crew.
Huh?
Cutting Crew?
Possibly. Just play the song, bro.
Is this the jam?
That's a jam, bro.
I feel like I have heard this, but I don't know if I know the words. Okay. Yeah. I just don't know the words to sing along with it though.
I don't either. That's why I fell off after that.
Okay, senor.
Okay, yeah. Sorry. Back on topic of pulling transmissions.
Yeah. There you go.
Yes, sir.
Solid.
Hey, it works. All right, it works.
All right, lower this down a little bit
Okay.
because it's binding right now.
Yeah, I can imagine so. Transmission eject. All right, that was just simple. Okay.
Right, come down.
Nice. Pulling transmissions with Poe. Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Easy. And a 1, 2, and a 3.
Boom. Old trusty. Back out onto the ground, and we're about to fill her up with some fluid. This is the exact same transmission that took my drag car 971 at 4,200 freaking pounds race weight.
You could see part of the pass.
Yeah. This trans, long story short, has been a goat. It has been the like.
Wait, that is the OG trans?
Yes. Like this is
Didn't they
the
have
one.
problems from stock? Like this one's just.
Yeah, this one is like a factory freak, dude. This transmission has been so strong, and I don't want to like, I don't know. I wanted to save it to keep it before we broke it, and so we pulled it.
Keep it
And so,
unboosted for now. And you're
yeah, dude. NA, this trans is not ever, hopefully, knock on wood. This trans really should, as long as I keep good fluid, it should stay forever. So we're gonna go ahead and get this nasty hydraulic throwout pulled out up here. There's spider webs, there's stuff all over this thing. I need to wipe it down a little bit. We'll get everything replaced and fill it with fluid, and then we'll get it put back up into the car. But first, before we can get this thing put into the car, we gotta work on the back of the engine back here, which is where our rear cover is. So obviously, rear main seal, rear cover, everything's already been sealed up back here, but we don't have our crank sensor in, which I do need to do before I forget, because I will be one unhappy motherfucker, dude, if I forget the crank sensor. And we gotta pull this whole shit back out. So before I even forget, we're gonna go ahead, put it in. Crank sensor is in, not gonna forget that. I'm trying to see if there's anything else back behind the heads back here that we need to be doing, but I don't believe so. It's pretty crazy. The trans is out, and look at just like solid motor mounts. Like that shit's hilarious, dude. That's actually probably why the trans was so easy to pull.
Probably.
Because everything's
the
just
motor
solid
wasn't
mounted.
working
Yeah.
against us at all. It literally was just like, if you're pushing out, I'm not gonna resist.
Yep. Damn, everything looks pretty cool down here. All right, guys, I'm splitting our pressure plate off of our flywheel here, so that way I can get this thing pressed down into place and bolted onto the engine itself. Set that out of the way. And now we've got our big, gorgeous flywheel. Again, guys, I want to give a huge thanks to Lethal Performance. They were the ones that sent over this clutch. This is their clutch, actually. Their new clutch that they just came out with. This is kind of their street version of it. Not anything crazy. This is for low horsepower with a little bit more bite to it and a lot lighter stuff components. But if you guys want to check out, they've got like much higher end clutches than this one right here. This is just, like I said, this is kind of like their entry level one. But for this car, this is all that we need. Huge, huge thanks to Lethal Performance yet again. Beautiful clutch. Let's get this thing put in. Everything should be good here. So I can go ahead and hang our flywheel. Put a dabadoo, a red Loctite, and we can start threading these down. All right, now that those are hand tight, let's go ahead and put our clutch on. Just good. Before we throw our clutch disc and pressure plate up here, I'm gonna put some brake clean on the flywheel and wipe it down just to get any excess oils or contaminants off of that thing before we mate these two together. Next up, I'm gonna grab this clutch alignment tool and our clutch disc, and we will do a set. And once the L fall out. Next up, I'm gonna grab our pressure plate. That looks about where it should go, I think.
Right, grab that hammer piece and let's eat that thing in.
All right, so I guess for today then we can just go ahead and I'll probably drain this real quick because it doesn't take time at all, and then put our new hydraulic throwout in there, and that way whenever we get our pressure plate bolts, I can just bolt that together and throw the trans right in. Yeah, what up, dude?
I got it.
Yeah, sorry.
I saw it. I got this here MT82, dude.
Really, dude? That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. But my friend told me that MT82s are junk, bro. Why are you gonna put that?
All right, so my uncle told me though that MT82s actually work.
Facts.
My uncle said
Smart
this
man.
transmission ran a 9.6 back in the day.
All right, let's see what's in here. Oh, there was fluid. And it's dark.
I mean, yeah, it's dark, but it doesn't look that bad at all.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna fill up 2 quarts of Amsoil Synchro Mesh or manual trans, and then we're gonna fill 1 quart of 7590. We're gonna have this thing shifting like butter, boys. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna fill this thing up with the whole 3 quarts, brother. And then after that, we're gonna let her puke out whatever she don't want to keep.
Type beat.
Type beat.
MT82 type beat.
MT82 type beat.
MT82.
She's puking. All right, now pick up the back end just a touch. Okay, that's about right. It really is. Perfect, Poe. I appreciate you, bro. Oh.
You're welcome.
I'm just gonna run these bolts out. Get our old hydraulics throw out, slave cylinder, whatever you want to call it. Get it out the way. That shit went fast.
That did go fast.
At one point in time. Now we're gonna slide in our new one. That bitch is dark. That was a very burnt up clutch. We'll save it for the black car. There's one from the C6 up here. Now I got one for the black car. New hydraulic throwout bearing. It's freaking installed. Wow! That's beautiful. New fluid is installed into the tran. So at this point, pretty much, we're gonna order some new pressure plate bolts, wait on those to come in, get those put in. After we get our pressure plate bolts in and torque down, then we'll be able to lift our trans back up, put it in place, and pretty much connect our clutch pedal to our freaking hydraulic throwout. Finally, let's go. We're gonna have a whole hydraulic clutch in this thing. After that, we can put it in our drive shaft and all of that, but for now, we'll see you guys then. All right, guys, good morning. We are back working on the 67. So yesterday you guys saw that we pretty much ran out of time and ability to continue because of the fact that we were out of pressure plate bolts, didn't have any. Well, turns out our local Ford dealership had some. So surprisingly enough, I've got our pressure plate bolts to finish up everything, which means that by the end of today, this transmission will be in this damn car. I swear. Let's go ahead and jump straight into it and get started working on this thing again, and hopefully we'll make some good progress today. All right, guys, all of our pressure plate bolts are in. So the next thing is I'm gonna go ahead and just keep slowly tightening down all of these down until we've got them all bottomed out. I'm just doing a few turns by hand in a star pattern, make sure that this thing sits down flush. And once we've got our entire pressure plate bolts down in a star pattern, next thing I'm gonna do is torque them all down. All right, guys, got our pressure plate done. I've got everything pretty much finished up here. I can pull our alignment tool out. Next up, I just need to grab our trans and slide it up into place. I'm pretty lit, honestly. This is the moment that I've been waiting on for quite a while. Finally stabbing this trans back. And this is hopefully gonna be the last time that we have to pull the trans out for a while. I really, really hope we don't have to pull this thing back out for any reason. You're probably gonna laugh once you see how easy this is about to slide into place. You ready? 1, 2, 3. That should hold it there. All right, got the trans on the trans jack. Up we go.
Ernie? The top of the bell housing is hitting the trans tunnel.
Well, that's weird. This came out like smooth as butter.
I know. It is weird. 'Cause that's what it's hitting right now, is the trans tunnel. And we gotta go forward like 2.
You know what I'm just now thinking about?
What?
It came out super smooth with no clutch in there. Yeah.
I might not go back in with a clutch. So,
Because whenever I pulled
engine-
it off the dowels, I went straight down with it, and that's why I was like, oh, it's going to be so easy to go back up.
yeah, so the engine might have to come out for this to go back in. Drop it all in through
Oh,
the top.
don't fucking start.
You can
Don't
drop-
say that
well, You
shit.
can see right there.
Hang on, watch again.
Oh, that's not even close.
It is actually. I'm touching inside on the fingers of the pressure plate.
Really?
If it could go up like literally a half an inch, it'll go.
You might be able to just hit the trans tunnel and, you know, bend it.
Massage it a little
Yeah,
bit.
you might be able to just drop this, give it some massaging, and then come back and do it again.
Oh, dude, come on now. We can get it. Yeah, we're going to get it.
Sure?
Yep. Yeah, we're going to get it.
And it's touching.
Oh.
Like right now, I think it's touching.
Oh my God, dude, it's a 1/4 of an inch. It is halfway off of the fingers and halfway on the fingers. Dad, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry. All right, we're gonna give that a shot. Oh, that's what I want to hear, baby. Yeah.
The front of it still can't go up any higher.
Really?
Yeah, it's still pinned on the top.
Cool.
So maybe now we can actually both give it a nice push.
Oh, we did.
It's on?
Yeah. Sweet.
Whoa.
That was so easy. We got the trans stabbed and bottomed out. So I'm gonna go ahead and put in our bell housing bolts now. Got our trans back in. I got our trans cross member bolted down. So now I've got to get this trans mount bolted in. And then I can lower down our trans jack. Dude, we are so close. Oh my God. All right, guys. At this point, we've got the freaking transmission and the cross member and everything bolted up, tightened down, and looking great. At this point, me and Rob are about to go ride to Monroe, which is about 30 minutes from here. We got to go pick up the Hellcat because it got dropped off this morning for some PDR work, which is paintless dent repair. Like I said though, that tiny little dent that everybody was freaking out about on the rear quarter panel, we ended up getting it all fixed. And I got a teaser picture that I just saw and it looks pretty freaking good.
Here, have a new Hellcat. It's free of charge.
Actually,
yeah.
you can have that phenomena happen to you if you visit www.itsjusta6.com right now, where every dollar spent will get you another automatic entry in to win the car. It's pretty crazy. Like literally, you just check out, your entries are automatically counted. You don't even have to do anything.
Well, I hope by the time that goes up, we will have went ahead and relaunched Don't Lose Sight. So go check out the site, guys. There's a ton. There's like 150 new items. So
Facts. All kinds of new stuff. We actually did just now rebrand and launch Don't Lose Sight as a streetwear brand, and it is live now. So go check it out. And we're gonna go grab the Hellcat. We just pulled up to the PDR shop. We're gonna go check this thing out and see what it looks like. Oh, wow, dude. That is pretty impressive. Back to the office we go. All right, guys, we're back from getting the Hellcat picked up. Gonna go ahead next and get our starter installed. Starter is now up in place. Brand new starter. Shouldn't have any problems out of that. So at this point, we've got our new shocks in the rear back here, all mounted up, looking really, really nice. We've got our exhaust pulled off still because transmission just came out and went back in. The stainless clutch line that I have here has this fitting on it, which I thought was the one that I needed because this is what came with the clutch conversion kit. So, you know, I figured that that was what I needed. Turns out that this is actually the wrong fitting. Surprise. So I'm gonna have to get the opposite of this. So this is the male version of this, and I've got to get the female version of this because that is what comes off of these hydraulic slave cylinders right here. And so that is what you see peeking out of the transmission up here. And so I need that female end to snap onto here to go up to an AN line, up to our master cylinder, and then I'll be able to get all that. But I've got a lot more parts ordering to do because it turns out that I needed a lot more stuff than what I thought that I did. With that being said though, let me move this cart out of the way. There is stuff all over the ground I'm gonna have to pick up, but let me show you guys what else that I've been doing off camera. And the reason I've been doing this off camera is because there's just so much missing stuff. I'm piecing together. I mean, it's a Frankenstein build. The car's name is Frankie. Not a piece together build, but I am using a lot of pieces from a lot of different stuff, and a lot of stuff is missing and mismatched. And anyway, what I'm getting to is that I've been working on the engine stuff under the hood, but I haven't been recording a lot of it, and that is simply just because of the fact that, like I said, there's just been a lot of stuff that I'm not even really sure about, and I've just been trying this and trying that and trying this and whatever. But I wanted to show you guys at least where I'm at with it. This is really, really rough, so bear with me here. I zip tied up this radiator up front. This is actually the radiator out of Daniel's 350Z. We got it bolted up. I'm gonna be able to make some mounts from here. I just have it zip tied currently, but I'll be able to make some mounts right about here to hold this radiator in place, and then I've got to get a 350Z fan shroud to stick back here. I've got our harness plugged into our alternator here. Over here is our MAF, so we'll plug this into the intake right here, into our MAF housing. Over here, I've got the ECU just laid out. I'm gonna have to probably mount it somewhere over here, so I'm just trying to lay it out to see where it needs to go. We've got our ignition source, key on, 12 volts, and we've got our CAN bus system, positive, negative, and we'll get to that at a later time. We've got our connections for our cooling fan. So this wire here is what we're gonna be wiring straight up to our radiator shroud once I get a fan shroud in. And then we've got a ground here. Oh, I lied, this is not a ground. This is our starter lead. So the starter that we just installed, I can take this down there at some point, put this on the solenoid, tighten it all down, and we should have a working starter. Aside from that, I routed our harness just kind of generally in the area that I'm gonna want it to. Fuse box is gonna be mounted over here somewhere around the intake, so that way we'll be able to pop our cover off and we've got our box for everything that we need. Over here, this is actually kind of cool. From this gasket back, this is all gonna be inside of the firewall. So this gasket, I'm gonna have got a little circle hole and put our gasket in there, put this grommet in there, and that way it'll keep insulated and all that good stuff. But we gotta put a ground inside. I've got to run this connector harness here for our fuel system and our fuel tank, which I've got over there. I just now ordered some gas tank straps as well. Then after that, I've already got, if you look on that card over there, I've got our regulator and some lines and all that good stuff already sitting ready to go. But something pretty cool though, inside the car I've got this clutch bottom switch, so we'll be able to put a two-step on there. This is the main thing that I need for two-step. I'll explain that at a later time. Also, we've got this Obd port. So this is really, really cool because I'll be able to have this inside of the car underneath the dash just like a modern car, and I'll be able to plug in a code reader to either clear check engine lights. The other cool thing about this thing though is that I'll be able to plug in a tuning device to this to be able to tune. We'll be able to have the car on the dyno just like the ZL1 right now, be able to live feed, data feed into this, and be able to literally dyno tune the car. So that is gonna be absolutely insane. That's gonna be awesome. Also in here, we've got our accelerator pedal switch. So this is our accelerator pedal position switch, I believe, and that is on the gas pedal itself. So along with this whole entire harness ran into the car, our accelerator pedal still needs to get mounted to the firewall somehow, and we'll plug this in, and then we'll have drive-by-wire on our throttle body. So other than the wiring though, I went ahead and got started. As you guys can see, it's all loosely mounted at the moment. I went and put all of our cooling fittings in the places that they go. I mounted our alternator with our flip kit because it won't fit down at the bottom of the engine down there where it typically does because of the fact that there is a 67 Camaro frame down there. We've also got our thermostat housing here that dips out to our 3 different hoses, one going to recirc into the heads, one going right here to the top of our radiator, and one going down to the bottom of the radiator, and obviously passing through the thermostat housing. But cool enough, as you guys see, our hoses are all plugged into the radiator really nicely. Luckily, the 350Z radiator had an inlet up here at the same spot that the Coyotes on the Mustangs typically do, and down here at the bottom. The problem was though, is that the S550 radiator was a little bit bigger than what can actually fit in here, and the 350Z radiator turned out to be the perfect size, and you don't need to have a big tank in here for this radiator. Save a lot of space and it looks good. So this stock one is probably just going to be what I'm running for temporary, just to get the car running, and then once we get everything running and real nice, I'm going to start upgrading stuff as we go. So probably put like a Mishimoto radiator up here, get nice silicone lines, and start really going to town with it. But my goal to start is just to, as cheap as possible, get this thing rolling. Aside from that, we've got our new intake manifold and throttle body. This is just a stock throttle body for right now, and we've also got a stock 2018 Mustang intake manifold. I believe that's an 18 manifold, hopefully, I can't remember. And then also I went ahead and put in our fuel rails. We got billet fuel rails in here, and our injectors are gonna go down below it. I haven't installed those yet though, obviously, because we haven't even ran any of the connectors or anything. And then lastly, speaking of that, I wanted to talk about, I've got to get our engine harness in, which I need to order as well. Once I get our engine harness, we'll be able to connect everything to our engine harness, plug it straight into the ECU, and pretty much from there, once our fuel system is ran, we should be able to start this thing up. So pretty damn crazy. We're making good progress. I just wanted to show you guys under the hood. It's a rat's nest, because truly there's no way to like cohesively make a video about what I'm doing. It's like I'm putting this on and seeing like, I need to get bolts for this. I need this. I need, you know, like random things. I need to, anyway, you get the point. We've also been measuring for belts and things like that, just trying to get the car going. So that's pretty much what's been going on under the hood. I just wanted to give you guys a quick update before the end of the video and show you guys where everything was at, but so far making awesome progress. So there we have it, guys. One step closer towards getting this Coyote Swap 67 Camaro out on the road for the first time ever under its own power. We're getting so damn close. We got a clutch, trans, flywheel, all that good stuff put into the car and sealed up for good, hopefully. Honestly, we've got just a lot of finishing touches from here, and after that, we should be able to start this thing here in the next few weeks. So it is just crazy to see a project that was so ambitious and out there just 2 years ago, and here we are getting close to the final steps towards getting this thing able to drive under its own power. So guys, if you're watching this, I really, really appreciate you all. Thank you so much. Make sure you smash that like button if you like this video. If you like this series, comment down below and let us know. Subscribe if you haven't already. And guys, we'll see you next video.